guys! So one video that I have never done before is a video showing you my favorite MAC eyeshadows. I've done an overview of my MAC palettes. If you're curious or interested in seeing that, I will post it in the description box. I did that a while ago. But when I first started watching YouTube, MAC was like the only thing I bought. I was so obsessed with MAC, and I feel like that's how it all started for a lot of people. Even the peak girls I followed and watched. But as I spent more time on YouTube watching different people and finding different people, I started discovering new brands, and I kind of like let MAC go to the wayside, and I was buying different palettes. I got into some drugstore like Wet n Wild palettes, and Sleek came out with a palette, and then the Too Faced Natural Eyes palette, and the Naked palette, and there was all these other palettes, and I feel like I totally neglected my MAC eyeshadows. But there are some that I continue to reach for, and when I was I just put one palette together of all my favorites. When I was originally going to do this, I was going to do my top 10, and then it just was too hard to just pick 10. So in this palette, I actually have 17 of my favorites. And I have to say, I really need to have like a serious MAC eyeshadow blog sale, because I have about 2.5 to 2 3/4 MAC palettes full of eyeshadows, and I pop out the center so I can fit like 26, I think, eyeshadows instead of 15. And going through them, like, I'm just looking at these colors, and there's so many colors that I forgot I even have, or I've never even used, or colors that I obviously love but have found in other palettes, like dupable colors. So I really do need to like clean out my palettes. But I feel like the 17 that I put in here are like my cult favorites, my tried and true colors I'm always reaching for, unique colors that you may not be able to find in other brands, or colors that I personally don't have like dupable colors for in other brands. And to no surprise, these are basically all neutrals, so if you're not a fan of neutral eye makeup, you might want to just close out of this video now, because that's pretty much all you're going to see. So first up, we have Copperplate, which is right here, and it looks like it's really nothing. I've used Copperplate both in the crease, just as like a very light defined eye, and all over the lid, lightly again, with just some black liner. And it's a color that I totally forget that I have all the time, but it's so super pretty. And obviously it's neutral. It's almost like a gray brown color. This next color here is Patina, and it's almost like a bronzy sand color, and it looks so gorgeous on the eyes, and it's like one of those colors that just makes your eye makeup look like it was effortless to do. It just does so much to like open your eyes and look bright. It's not a really dark dramatic color, but it just, I don't know, it just like brings life to your eyes. It's so pretty. And I've used that in the crease as well, like with Shroom or something like that, or if I put nothing on my eyes and I just want a little dimension, I'll add that to my crease. This next one here, this is Smut, and I would categorize this as a super dark brown. It's a great alternative to black if you do want like a smoky eye or some color to smudge under your lower lash line. It definitely could take the place of black, even for nighttime, but I like that color specifically doing like day or night, but specifically I wear it like just in the outer crease for like that little pop of like smoky eyes a little bit. This next color is Sable, which is probably one of my very favorite colors. This is my second, I think, little pan, and it's just got so much dimension and beautiful, easy undertones. I think anybody could pretty much wear this color. It comes off like brown, but it has some purpley undertones, maybe even a little bit of red. I had this in my last favorites video, and I usually just wear it by itself, but it's definitely a color you could pair with just about any other neutral color, matte or shimmer, and would work really well. Next, I'm going to take Patina out only because I don't have a magnet on it. This one is Glamour Check, and this one unfortunately is discontinued, but a decent dupe for it is Antiqued, which is permanent from MAC. And Glamour Check came out with the Star Flash collection. I really love this color. It's almost like a rusted brown. I wouldn't even really say it's more of a reddish brown, but it leans more brown than red. This other color right here in the corner is probably the most neutral as it gets. This is Brule, and I love it just for kind of like after I put Painterly Paint Pot on and I just want to like even out my lids, I'll just throw Brule all over my eyes, like all the way up to the crease, and it just kind of like powders the painterly down and sets it, and then it just kind of like gives you a nice even canvas to start working with. It is like a pretty easy color, but by no means is it unique. It was unique, I feel like, when it first came out because it is a matte. But Wet n Wild has released a single icon color called Brule, ironically enough, which is an exact dupe. So as soon as I run out of this, it's not a color I would repurchase, but it is a shade that I would want to have in my collection. I'm just going to go grab the one at Walgreens from Wet n Wild for $1.99. This next color here is Club, and this is such a unique color. It's kind of like a brownish, you could see there, it's like almost red, and then it even has some green undertones. Really, on it again, was really unique at the time until Wet n Wild duped it in their Comfort Zone palette. So if you can find the 8-pan palette at wherever Wet n Wild is sold, you can get the whole palette for less than this single eyeshadow, and there's an exact dupe in that palette. This is probably the only color I have in my palette, and it's Prussian. Again, another permanent color, and it's just a matte dark blue. I use this sometimes when I don't want to wear black, but I want some kind of dimension. It's just a gorgeous navy. I don't go too heavy with it in the crease. I usually actually only wear it under my lower lash line. It looks great with brown eyes, but again, it could be a really nice like outer V color. And then next to that is Grand Entrance, which is probably hands down one of my most favorite colors from MAC. But again, unfortunately, a discontinued color. People have spotted this at a lot of CCOs, but it's ultimately just a champagne pink, which isn't really unique anymore. I actually filmed another battle video of shimmery champagne colors where I included Grand Entrance, so hopefully that will give you an idea of some other colors very close to that. But I feel like Grand Entrance to me was like one of the very first kinds of shades like that, and it really just like opened my eyes to how much I love colors like that. I think originally it might have been released as like a highlight, but I love it for inner corner and all over the eyelid. This color right here is Scene, a permanent color from MAC. I would put it in the category with the grays, but the cool thing about Scene is it has some purpley undertones. It's just a really pretty color. It could make a nice soft daytime eye, and it also would be really pretty for like a dark gray smoky eye to just blend out any harsh lines. Where are we going here? This one is Shroom, and again, I think this is my second or third pan I've purchased of this. Started out again for me as a highlight color, but turned into one of my favorite lid colors. It's just easy, has very, very light shimmer in it. It's more of a satin tone, but great for all over the lids, inner corner, or under the brow bone for highlight. Up here we have Cranberry, which I don't know what else to say. It's basically a cranberry color. And I typically use this either when I have a shimmery pink on the lid or a shimmery champagne, just to change it up if I don't want to do like a boring old brown neutral color. And I just love it. I think it's a pretty color. And I haven't honestly seen, or I don't have any close colors to Cranberry in my collection. I know there's a color by Shu Uemura that's very close, but I don't have it. Then this one is Shale. Again, very unique color. Originally when I bought it, I thought it was like a purple, but I heard Lisa Eldridge talk about this one time, and she described it as a brown. But for me, it's kind of almost like a purpley gray, a very light color. But I've used Shale both all over the lid and also up in the crease just for a little bit of dimension. It's a very unique color. Right below that right here is probably one of my favorites at the moment. It's Charcoal Brown from MAC. And I use this to fill in my eyebrows, and again, just in the crease for dimension. I pretty much wear it on a daily basis. It just really it just forms your eye for you. I can't wait to hit pan on this, and I'm definitely going to buy that color, replace it in a pot form, just so I can always take it with me. I think it's a color everybody should have in their collection, whether you have same toned, like same color eyebrows as me or not. Like not as an eyebrow color, but just as a crease color. It's just easy and very wearable, and you don't have to think about it. I totally like went out of order. Okay. Next to Charcoal Brown is Phloof. And Phloof used to be talked about all the time, and I honestly don't hear anyone talk about it anymore. I honestly forgot about this until I was looking through my palettes. But it's again one of those highlighty colors. But you can see the difference between Shroom and that, and then even, where's Grand Entrance? Right here is Grand Entrance. I hope these are like showing up. Grand Entrance is definitely more of a pink. Phloof has a little bit of pinky in it, but it's more of like a beigey highlight, and it's super pretty. I love this specifically for the inner corner. Over here, whoops, I'll do this one first. This one's Embark, and it's just a matte, darker brown. It's probably my favorite color for the crease. I want a more dramatic neutral eye, but it's still very wearable for the daytime. I used to really love wearing Shroom all over the lid and putting Embark in the crease. It's just my all-time favorite brown. It's just a really pretty color. And then the one that fell, who are you? Oh, this is Folie, and I'll just put it right next to it so you could see. Folie's obviously a little bit lighter. I actually tend to wear these together a lot if I blend Folie above the crease and then I just put Embark below Folie or just right in the outer V. It's almost like a chocolatey brown color, and again, just a color that would go with any champagne color, any neutral color on the lid, anything like that. So, did I get them all? I think I did. So, those are my favorite MAC eyeshadows. I still really like MAC eyeshadows. I think they make amazing quality shadows. The pigmentation, the staying power, everything. I think they're really great and it's impressive. It's just not the only brand out there anymore, and it's not the only brand people talk about anymore. These are definitely my favorites that I will continue to use and repurchase and love, aside from Brule. Like I said, I will definitely go for the drugstore version of that. And even Club, like once I might even put Club up on a blog sale just because I have the Comfort Zone palette and they're literally identical. So I'm going to swatch these and I will be right back. Okay, so here are the swatches. I did them on both hands. Alright, we'll start with this one. This is Charcoal Brown. Then we have Folie, Embark, and Copperplate. So you can see what I mean about Copperplate. It almost leans more gray, but I could still see some brown undertones when it's paired up against these other colors. So all of these are great crease colors or outer V. So then we have Cranberry, which has a gorgeous, gorgeous sheen on it. This is the color Scene. Again, a really light smoky gray, but I almost see a little bit of purple there. This is Smut, so you could see just between, like this is Embark, which is the darkest brown, and Smut. It almost is a little black, but it's just really a deep dark brown. This is Shale, which again I said is almost like a purpley brown gray. It's a really unique color and has a really nice sheen on it. And then that's Prussian. Whoa. That's Prussian, which is just a matte, why is it focusing like that? A matte navy blue. And then over here, I did the lighter colors. This is Club, which you could just see the way I turn my hand like there. It's almost like a brownish red, a little bit of green. It's really pretty. This one is Glamour Check, next to Sable. You could just see, again, with Sable, the purpley undertones, and you could see the sheen versus Glamour Check. And then here's my neutral. So this is Brule. Obviously it's swatched really light. It's actually even lighter than my skin tone. This one is Grand Entrance, which is obviously like the most pink. And then this one is Shroom, if you can even see that. It's just really light, followed by Phloof. So you could see, like, although they kind of looked similar in the pan, they are pretty different colors. Phloof has an awesome payoff, I will say. So those are my favorite and I think most unique MAC eyeshadows. Obviously I don't have their whole permanent collection, but I'm kind of overbuying MAC shadows just because I'm overbuying eyeshadows in general. It's just because I need to like really start using what I have. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I will see you in my next video. Bye!